Okay, we're inside Tidal Base, and I joined a group in progress, so I'm kind of getting dumped right in the middle of the action, and I'm having to adjust to it a little bit. Normally, I feel like I have to warm up to these things. Oh shit! What? Oh, that's not good.
Agent incapacity.
Oh, that's not. This is not good.
Serious trauma detected.
This is not good.
Agent out of action.
Hold up a sec.
I am getting fucked up. My positioning was bad. Oh no.
Agent down.
Well, this is not good. Hey, maybe it's not so bad. Oh shit. Okay, it's bad. This is bad. Oh, no. Stop it.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Oh, no. Stop.
Agent out of action.
All right, that Tidal Basin mission was a hot mess. That may have been the greatest piggyback ride that the world has ever seen. My teammates, they were carrying me for a good 30 minutes, and it was glorious, but it was pretty painful to watch. So instead, I'm going to queue up for a different stronghold. Today, the daily mission is the Capitol Building stronghold on the hard difficulty, so we're going to do that instead of Tidal Basin. But before we do that, there's something that I want to do to a weapon, so let's head into the base of operations and change some things around. And I'll also talk a little bit about the build that I'm using, why I'm using it, stuff that I want to improve with it, etc., etc. So I have the Police MK17. This is a rifle. I want to change some things on it. I don't like the talents that it has. Right now, I have Strained, but unfortunately, with my current setup, I can't make any use of it. This talent is pretty cool. Plus 10% critical hit damage is gained for every 5% of your armor that's depleted. It's very powerful, but I don't plan on really challenging enemies to a one-on-one duel when I'm using this build. I plan on playing safe, keeping myself healthy and topped off at all times. So this is not something I really want. But instead, I'm going to switch that for Boomerang. Critical hits have a 50% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If the bullet is returned to the magazine, the next shot has 20% increased damage. That feels pretty good, and in my current build, I believe I have 28% crit chance, so with 20 rounds in the mag, I should maybe get 2 or 3 extra shots that are dealing 20% extra damage. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and recalibrate that talent, and just like that, we've got Boomerang on our Police MK17. So why don't we head into the shooting range and fire off some rounds into a target dummy to see how many extra shots we get with our build. So let's make the dummy an elite difficulty, and then we'll fire away. We've got 20 in the mag. Let's see how many we get. Okay, I got 24 shots, so that means 4 of the shots that I took did an additional 20% damage. That's not going to average out to a huge increase in DPS, but it feels kind of cool, and sometimes cool stuff is cool. I don't know. It's not optimal, whatever. I enjoy it. I'm just going to use it for now. It is what it is. Let's talk about the rest of the build and the rest of the brand sets and stuff that I'm working with. For my second weapon, I have a... Wrong thing. For my second weapon, I have a marksman rifle. This is the hunting M44, and the talent that I have equipped on it, I think I've been saying perk this whole time, but I meant to say talent, is First Blood. If scoped, your first shot fired from out of combat or after fully reloading from an empty magazine deals headshot damage to any part of the body. This is interesting. It rewards, quote, bad play. But the way I like to think of it is it will cover me if I make a mistake. So if I'm in combat, I'm shooting, empty that magazine, reload, an enemy, he's running around like a maniac, I shoot him in the chest. With that first shot, it's going to deal headshot damage. That feels kind of nice. I like the way that sounds. For the armor pieces, I'm using 3 pieces of the Wyvernware set and 3 pieces of the Overlord armaments. This isn't ideal by any stretch of the imagination, but it's what I have, and it's been working okay. It's something I definitely would like to try and optimize better in the future, get different brand sets, better combinations, but for now, this is what I have. So the Wyvernware brand set is giving me critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and drone skill power. The drone skill power is not really doing anything for me in my current setup, but it's there. It is what it is. And for the Overlord armaments, we've got rifle damage, very helpful since we're using a rifle and we're going to use it for most of our engagements. Total armor plus 7.5%, that's just making us a little bit more durable, and 7% damage to elites. That is going to help us shred through those yellow bar enemies a little bit easier. And if we head to the stats page, some things that I want to take note of that I feel are important to the playstyle that I want to have is capacitive. This is increasing skill duration by 20%. I wish I had a few more of these, maybe in place of Wicked, plus 10% weapon damage to status affected enemies. Doesn't really do anything for what I'm trying to do in the build, but the increase in skill duration is going to work really nicely with the Tactician drone. It's going to get to stay out and scan the battlefield a little bit longer, and the assault turret, which is just going to plop it down, it just fires at the enemies and provides a little bit of support for us that way, supporting fire. I also have 43% cooldown reduction, which is kind of a lot. The time in between activations of my drone and my turret is significantly shorter, especially if I deactivate them before their duration wears off. So that's what I'm going to try to do once I get into combat. We start an encounter, we call out that drone, plop down our turret, pew pew pew, the encounter's over, deactivate them both. They should be ready to go before the next encounter is over. So that's going to be the plan there. All right, we're in the Stronghold. This is going to be intense. Strongholds are a lot of fun in the Division 2. They feel like a nice departure from the typical missions, mostly because of the environments that you're in. You're outside. The engagement ranges feel a little bit longer, and it's almost like a big action movie set piece as opposed to being in this tight corridors and doing some kind of special operations type stuff. So my drone is out and it's scanning right now, and I kind of want that guy to poke up. And I hit him, but I didn't have enough damage to kill him. Something that I want to try to do with this build is, instead of getting damage to elites on so many of my pieces, I want to have headshot damage so that I can reliably one-shot, one-kill red bar enemies when I'm in group play. When I'm playing solo, I can one-hit, one-kill red bars without trouble. But right now, I'm leaving them with just the tiniest sliver of health, and that's a little bit annoying. But that's okay. We're still putting in work with our rifle. I didn't put out the turret initially because I didn't think it was going to really be helpful in this situation. I thought we were going to clear out this wave of enemies faster, but I'll plop it down, and I'll just let it do its business. Oh, my accuracy is just in the toilet today. Part of the reason that the Tidal Basin mission went so poorly was because my aim is just not in a good place right now. I'm a little bit tired. But on one of the shots there, you saw I did about 300,000 damage, and I shot a guy in the butt. That was the special, the talent that I have on my M44, which I can't even remember the name of it right now because my brain needs coffee. I gotta buy a coffee machine, dude. Oh my gosh, this is like a freaking war zone. Alright, I'm gonna deactivate both my turret and my drone. The drone cooldown is 50 seconds on deactivation. The turret cooldown is 30 seconds. This will definitely be ready the next time we need it. It's probably gonna be ready midway through this encounter, which is looking like it's gonna get a little bit crazy. No, you don't. Trying to charge at me all aggressive. Not gonna have that. Now, if you saw my other play sessions with the Sharpshooter, I was originally using a submachine gun and a marksman rifle because I wanted to have a better close range presence. I wanted to feel capable even if enemies kind of push up on me. But I've opted out of that playstyle, and I'm just gonna stay at range forever. I'm never gonna move into close range. I'm always gonna be at this long distance. And what's kind of interesting about that is that this playstyle can seem a little bit boring, especially to watch, because I'm gonna be chilling in the same piece of cover for extended periods of time, and that might seem a little bit dull. But what I like about it, and what I think appeals to other people with this kind of playstyle, is when you get into a good groove and you just get headshot after headshot after headshot on multiple enemies, it feels really good. Now, you're obviously thinking, well, Rob, you're hardly hitting any headshots at all, so it doesn't feel too good, does it? You're right. It doesn't feel too good when I'm not hitting my headshots, but when I do, it feels awesome. All right, let's go ahead and deactivate the turret so I get that extra short cooldown. I believe this is the last guy. Yes, he was, so we can deactivate the drone as well. You know, the differentiation in the specializations and the play styles that you can adopt if you lean into them is really nice in games like this. If everything feels the same, if every way that you can play the game feels too samey, that gets dull really, really fast. And granted, one of the issues that exist in the Division's current meta, as far as I understand it, is that most of the ideal ways to play the game revolve around your guns. So every build, I'm missing a lot now, every build that you come up with is going to be, how can I best deal damage with the guns that I want to use for this particular build? And that's fine, and there is a decent amount of differentiation in that, right? It's like, okay, do I want to use a shotgun? Do I want to use a sniper? Do I want to use an assault rifle? And you build based on those concepts, right? And thankfully, each of the different guns that exist in the game feel significantly different. A marksman rifle doesn't feel like an assault rifle. A submachine gun doesn't feel like a light machine gun. And the same is true for all of the different weapons and categories and types. Oh, the point I'm trying to make is if that weren't the case, then I would not be nearly as satisfied with the game as I am. One of the problems that exists for me personally with games like Final Fantasy XIV and to a certain extent with Destiny is that they're not games that are focused on making builds, and that's a huge part of the RPG MMO style experience for me, is making a customized character. And when that's missing, things do start to feel a little bit samey for me. Things start to get a little bit dull. It's hard to say whether or not I'm getting huge benefits from the boomerang talent. It's one of those things that I know it's working in the background, but I almost wish there was an audio cue that let me know every time that it procced or something like that. But it's something that I imagine that I would miss boomerang if it were gone. I would probably notice the difference when I don't have it versus when I do have it. Because there would just be a few less shots in every magazine. Oh my gosh, can I just hit his head one time? But that's something that's really nice about the talent system in the Division, is that there's a good amount of talents that feel very active, and there are a good amount that feel very passive. And they all have an effect on how you can, on how you want to play. So I'll give you an example, right? There's talents in the game for all the guns that increase your damage against targets affected by certain status effects. So you have one for bleed, one for burning, one for blind, and there's a talent that can roll on armor pieces that increases your damage dealt to status affected targets in general. So that tells to you, if you want to build around that, then you want to have a build that throws a lot of status effect grenades, and you want to have abilities that apply status effects very frequently, right? Then we have stuff like Boomerang. This informs my decision. It tells me that I want to have crit chance as high as I can get it. Right now I only have 28%, and I'm starting to feel, okay, I'm getting some bullets refunded, and I know it's working. But if I get my crit chance even higher, then it just kind of snowballs. So the talents are really cool for that reason for me. Come on, guy. Grenade. Roll. Oh, it was a flashbang. Well, that's bright. Okay. Let's take out the, you know what, let's take out our big boy sniper. Let's take out the TAC 50 and deal with that guy that's up there. I missed. Body. It's all body for me today. It's all body. I've used almost an entire magazine trying to kill this one guy, and it's, oh, feels bad, man. It wasn't even a headshot. It's painful to watch. It's painful to play too.
Set up a flare from the front steps to signal the all clear. Then come on home. Let's celebrate.
Oh, it's over. We won. All right, well, that went a million times better than Tidal Basin, I'll tell you that right now. Oh, well, I went the wrong way. Okay, so we did it. We completed the mission. Unfortunately, we didn't get that much loot that was of value to us. I did get another MK17, but it doesn't have any talents that I'm interested in. Fast hands, I find it to be very nice. It feels very crispy on submachine guns. Critical hits add a stack of 3% reload speed bonus, stacks up to 20 times. But on a weapon that fires as slowly as a rifle with such a small magazine capacity of 20, the likelihood of me getting even 10 stacks of fast hands with the crit chance that I have right now, which is only 28%, is very low. So that's going straight in the trash. I did get this Model 700 marksman rifle with the Ranger talent. Every 5 meters you are from the target, you get 2% weapon damage. That leans very heavily into that sit back, put on your 12 times zoom scope, and pop them heads. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to transfer that talent to a different marksman rifle sometime in the future. But I don't know when I'm going to do that. But for now, we have our setup. We have a setup for the Sharpshooter that feels okay. It's not perfect. It's not the most optimal build ever, but it feels okay. It feels usable. It's got a theme to it, and it works. It gets me through encounters relatively well. Now, with all of that said, the next time we come back, we're going to be playing a little bit of that Demolitionist. And the goal is not going to be to make some kind of hodgepodge bullshit build that kind of gets the job done. I'm going to try to make something for the first time that feels good, that feels complete, that feels structured and satisfying in every sense of the word. We've been on a journey here ever since I started doing these Division videos, where we started off just kind of messing around with control points. Then we tried to put together a little build for the survivalist, and we switched to the we're just kind of, we're dancing around the hardcore stuff right now. So for the next build on the Demolitionist, when we start playing that, I'm gonna get real nitty gritty on all the different details that go into the different armor pieces, all the talents on our guns, on our armor pieces. They're gonna come into play, and they're gonna matter. So with that said, with all of that said, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to support the channel more than you already do just by watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, you can head over to patreon.com/iBluairJgR to become a patron. But even if you don't, I love you anyway. The name of the game is The Division. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.